All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Um, for the next phase that we are trying to all engineer, there are certain things that are like very paramount for each and every one of us, right? And I'm going to be dividing them into some metrics, about 3, 4, 5 metrics that I believe that if we all can get committed to, it's going to hasten our steps to where exactly we are going to, right? And one of those things, or to start the session, is that each and every one of us must start seeing ourselves as the CEO of our individual team or our individual unit. Now, that might sound like it might sound like an easy thing to do, and it might sound like an impossible thing to do, depending on the environment. But there's something I often say, that the job of the CEO, the real CEO of the company now, is not to get the job done. The job of the CEO is to lead the people getting the job done. In fact, if the CEO is stuck in getting the job done, everybody will out of job sooner or later. There's this documentary about BlackBerry, right? How many of you can guess, what do you think BlackBerry did wrong? From your whatever, what do you think BlackBerry really did wrong that made them go out of market? If you can try.
So I think BlackBerry used to go with
Technology trend.
So just to stay into what's
Okay. Who else? That's correct, actually. Who else?
They lack innovation.
They lack innovation. Okay. Who else? They fail to expand their product. They expand their product delivery. Okay. Awesome. What do you say?
Poor upgrading. Many people were wanting them to upgrade their system.
Okay. Poor upgrading.
So they refused to upgrade, and that's why.
Okay. Okay. How many of us use BlackBerry? Okay, please. They felt at the top. Okay. That's what you wanted to also say.
Like they had this settings for just for one specific kind of people. They didn't
Okay.
separate the like for everybody.
Okay.
Not really like they just
For one audience. Okay. They failed to meet up with competitors' pressure. Okay. Okay, please.
I think they failed to adapt to
Smartphone landscape. Good. Both of you have very similar, and permit me to tilt towards that direction. And why am I saying this? When the first shift in BlackBerry came, when iPhone 1 was released, that's where the first trouble came from. Because what iPhone basically did was to remove the keyboard. That's what iPhone first did, to remove the keyboard. Now, they all saw iPhone launch the new smartphone with just screen and one button. And the real problem was that the CEO insisted that the reason people are buying BlackBerry is because of the mouse and the keyboard. You know, it has this round mouse trackpad. He said that was the reason why people are buying it. He said sooner or later, the iPhone is going to shut down. Now, where that notion came from is because the CEO itself is too fixed in the technology part of the business, and then there was a separate CEO who was supposed to be running the business that was already one leg in, one leg out. And I'm going to explain. You see, the CEO's primary responsibility is business, not product. And business is not product development. Business is how does this product fit the market. That's the business. Have you seen people that have good product but they are still struggling in business? Their product is like the best. So you are wondering, if it is good product, this thing should sell. Have you heard people say a good product to sell itself? Hope you know that's a lie. That's a very big lie. Have you not seen talented people that are broke? So if they are that good, people should run after them and come and seek them. See, you hear people say that just grow, people will look for you. If you don't put yourself out, nobody will know you've grown. So the problem was that the CEO was already fixed in the technology part of the. In fact, I was reading a book that said that it is a disservice to the business for the CEO not to have someone who knows the product more than him. That you are the best at knowing your product is actually not an advantage as a CEO. Most of the things that you call innovation in Apple, hope you know it didn't come from the CEO. Even till now, people still say Mark Zuckerberg did not program Facebook. Steve Jobs did not write Microsoft. They didn't. But what do they know? They know what the audience wants. So and I'm going somewhere. Have you heard this quote before that, this saying before that, don't be the smartest person in the room as a leader. But do you know that subconsciously, many of us want to be? And that's one of the problems, that was one of the key challenges of BlackBerry. He was insisting, this is why people do this, this is why people do this. You know, just as if he knows better. I used to work with a particular firm, and there was a point when I related with some of their customers. And I was listening to their feedback, and I discovered that they were tilting to a particular thing. We wanted to dish out a particular product, but they were asking for that same product, but in a different format. So I told the MD, I said, why don't we do this kind of thing? Instead of packaging it into a do-it-yourself product, these people want an interactive kind of product. And he refused. He said, no, this one would help us do this and do that. So we launched that. In about 3 months, we hardly made about $1 million in about 3 months. So I just went to him and I said, why don't you just let us try this one? At least if it fails, we'll know that there's no harm, and it really has very minimal cost. In the first month of launch, we made over 10 million naira. Why? Because there was someone. Now, it was not that I was more knowledgeable than him. It was not that I was skilled more than him. But there's an insight I have that he doesn't. So what I'm trying to say is that you might be the head of sales closers, but to drive the sales closer team forward, you must be able to listen to people actively interacting with the customers, even more than you think you know what they need. So that when you're in the meeting, you are listening to them more than you are talking. In fact, that makes you, at the end of the day, smarter. Hope you know. Because now it looks as if you've taken everything they've said and then you've packaged it together and then you're presenting like a new idea and they're like, wow, this man is a genius. It's just their idea. You just rebranded it. So there's something, where I'm actually driving at is that we are all here to actually detach the MD or the CEO from what you are doing, such that when it comes to product management of a particular, maybe product line now, when it comes to making decisions about it, the only thing you go to meet him for, it is yes or no answer. Yes or no questions, rather. Oh, based on what we've seen, based on what we've known, we want to do this. Do you think we should go ahead? Yes or no? Not that we're having this problem. What do we do? You know, there are two different questions. The first one, you've thought about it. You've found out how to actually go about it. Then you are asking him for approval on recommendations. Now, with that, he is at a what's it called, mind frame where he can even innovate. Permit me to use this example. How many of us maybe you once had a very terrible breakup with your partner, and then you felt like everything, there's nobody again in this life. Every man is a scam, every woman is a scum, you know. Everybody's just, only for you to get into a new relationship. And you're like, what was I even doing? There's a place I'm going to. There's a way you fall in love with your product so much that you can fight the next best selling. You can fight the next. In fact, maybe when you were with the person, this better one is showing you face, but you just cannot see the person. You just cannot see the person. Until this one now says, I'm no longer doing, like, wait, have you ever, maybe you've checked your Excel, like, what did I even see, Seth? And it's the way in business. It's the way in business. It's the way in you know, let me tell you something funny. Do you know that for years, I fought corporate trainings? Like, I said I'm not going to do corporate trainings. I said, I just don't think, let me just, I just wanted to do my business and maybe one-on-one. So one day, a very top firm in this country just reached out. In fact, in Africa, just reached out. I saw their mail. The only reason I replied was because of the name, the weight. I checked their CEO. I think he just did a deal of 10 billion US dollars with the US government. So it was mouth-watering. Even if I will not trade, at least let's be friends. So I reached out, and the problem was because I didn't know how much money corporate consultants were getting paid. Because I was used to just organizing 10K class, 20K class, and I was making money. I was making 6 figures every month, sometimes 7 figures. So I was okay, and I'm young. In fact, I didn't even know what, at the beginning when I started making money, I'll call my friends, do you need money? I'm telling you, I didn't know what to do, what is money for. I was leaving my parents, they were feeding me, so I'll call them, I have this amount of money, do you need it? They'll say, we need it, I'll send it to them. So, because honestly, so they now sent me, and thankfully to them, they now sent me a budget range for the training. When I saw the budget range, I changed my title to corporate consultant. Immediately, like when I saw the range, so I was like, okay, hold on. Why have I been fighting this thing all this long? But where I'm driving at is, if he's stuck with running the current products, he won't be in a frame of mind to innovate the next best-selling. BlackBerry was so stuck, Nokia was so stuck in the glory of the existing product. When they were folding up, Nokia CEO said, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we failed. With tears. And now they're trying to pivot into something else. But you see, I was telling someone that until Nokia actually rebrand to another name entirely, they need to come out as a brand we don't know. Because once you just hear Nokia, there's just this wall in your mind already. You've moved past it. You've just moved past it. So, as a team leader, now this is the point I'm trying to make. As a team leader, you must carry yourself as a CEO of your unit. That's the first thing. And being the CEO of your unit starts from, number one, even the way you carry yourself. There's the way you carry yourself that your team members they don't want to listen to you. It's not that they don't want to. There's this psychology concept whereby I've told someone before. I said people don't see you as who you say you are. People see you as who you think you are. You wonder, how do they know who I think I am? Some people call it energy. Some people call it aura. If I come into this place and I'm thinking in my mind that these people will listen to me like this. They will not think, who is this short man? Somehow, that's how you people will perceive me. Somehow. That's how and if I come here and I'm like, oh my God, after this session, these people are going to be so glad they came for this session. Somehow also, that's how you're going to see. So most times, some people call it taking leadership, but I call it being the CEO of your unit, or being the CEO of whatever department you are in, as a team, as a leader. Because the CEO now assume a responsibility such that even the growth of that unit is your responsibility. Like I told you, the only question you take to the group MD's table is a yes or no question. It was me, Adesina, that was saying that a CEO's job does not start when he gets to the office. As he opens his eyes, that's if he has not been dreaming about it. As he opens his eyes, his work has started. And until he closes his eyes back at night. Why do you think many top CEOs don't have good marriages? Why? Because the truth, I don't want to. How many of us also see, have a vision to become CEOs ourselves? Awesome. Thank you. There's something I want to say. And it is easy for you to think that when it becomes your own, you will do better than you are doing now. It's a very, very big trap. That, what is it? I'm hard working. It's just because I don't like the job. It's a lie. I'm telling you. Hope you know that it is easier to be committed to something when you're accountable to someone than when you're accountable to yourself. Leadership, self-leadership is hard though. That you have someone who can tell you to be at the office at 8 a.m. It's a real blessing. Because what you don't know is you are learning a culture of punctuality. But when you keep defaulting that, when you start your own, it's okay. That's the truth. You know, I made a video, there was something I mentioned in one of our episodes that went viral. I was talking about one of my former bosses that he gets to the office before everyone. You almost leave him, 8 p.m. he's still in the office. And people say it's because he doesn't have a happy home. Something. And why will you be staying in the... He's just trying to blackmail people. Employees 9 to 5, don't work more than that. They're trying this boss, they're trying to... And I laughed. You know, have you heard people say they want to quit 9 to 5 to work for themselves? Only for them to start working 24 hours. There's somewhere I'm going. There's an ownership mindset that when you take it, it is not... You would think it might look as if you're using it to serve the business. But what you don't know is that you are becoming a person that whether in this business or out of this, you are valuable. In fact, I advocate for working harder on yourself than harder on your job. When you are working harder on yourself, you will always be relevant on the job. Now, when we look at all these things I'm saying so far, right, we'll discover that if the MD has to come to your unit to say, okay, this is the next thing we are doing, it's either of two things. It's either you are not taking responsibility as a leader of that particular unit, right? Or secondly, you are not projecting yourself to be taking responsibility. Hope you know there's a way you can actually be working hard, but you are not projecting yourself to be working hard. And that's how many of us shoot ourselves in the foot. How many of us are shy here? Okay, put your hands down. Let me ask you a question. Please don't be humble. How many of us are from a rich background? Don't be humble. How many of us are from a rich background? I like that. Now, I actually I wanted to say something. How many of us have noticed that children of other people are more audacious? And many of us think they are rude. Yes or no? When you look at it, you're like, why is this boy is rude? Why is he talking to me like that? You know, it's because you are actually timid. The boy is just being audacious. Auntie, what's your name? Why are you asking my name? Auntie, high five. You say, kneel down and greet me. The boy is just confident. He's just confident. So most times, you actually have a great idea, but does this sound nice? Will this sound nice? And that's why many people don't perform. You have to, there's a confidence of qualification you have to have. In fact, there's something that someone used to say, that the audacious will always lead the gifted. The audacious will always lead the gifted. That means you are gifted, though, but someone that is foolish but is audacious, you will work for the person. You will say yes sir to the person. Meanwhile, you know more than the person. Because you are not willing, you are not confident enough to express that thing that you know. If we would actually, because just imagine that we have, how many of us? 3, 6, 9, 18. So we have over 20 here. 20 of us. We have 20 Dr. Mohammed in this room. Look at how much progress we are going to take. And let me say this, because I know that analogy might not be accurate. Let me say this. We don't need another Dr. Mohammed. We don't even need you to become Dr. Mohammed. No. Because he's not better than you, but he's different than you. if you find your uniqueness and you fine-tune it to the best of what it is, you will deliver your uniqueness, he will deliver his uniqueness, and everybody will contribute to the mutual goals. Just what I'm saying? You know, sometimes as leaders, we try to make people, we try to duplicate ourselves in people. That's what I'm doing. You can't say, no. We are not trying to make another you. What's this person's uniqueness? What's this person's strength? How do I help this person come to the best? Because you need the person's uniqueness. One of the departments I don't like in organizations is finance. I don't like them. But guess what? You need them. I used to tell people that as leaders or as MDs or whatever, it is very rare to see a CEO that actually is disciplined with finance. Because every idea makes sense to the CEO. He wants to test everything. He wants to try everything. He wants to spend on it. He sees the money is there. That's just it. But it's the finance person that will say, no, this one we can't, this one we can't, this one, even if we do, we'll cut by 20%. And you are wondering, where do they see this from? But guess what? You need that uniqueness to balance the other equations. I used to say that when you are just starting, you take risk. But when you are at a level, you don't take risk anymore. You manage risk. Because if you take risk, you can lose everything. You know when you're starting, you don't have anything to lose. But, you know, maybe your salary is, what's it called now? You have 1,000 naira and you don't start a business. That's what you have. If you lose 1,000 naira, it's still not really a big deal. But when you now have like 10 million naira, there's a quality of life you're already living. If you lose that one and go back to 1,000 naira quality of life, that one is now add. You see that now? So we need their uniqueness. For example, we have welfare. For example, we have media. To think that my department is more valuable than your department is a disservice. It's a disservice. They will say a cow does not know the value of its tail until it is cut off. So there's a uniqueness each and every one of us bring to the table. And as you find your own uniqueness, your job is to find the uniqueness of your team members also. And that's one of the job of the CEO. In fact, one of the key responsibilities of the CEO is to be able to spot talent. You're looking at this person and like, even this person does not know it yet, but you have this strength. And you keep committing responsibility to the person's hands to bring out that strength in the person. So that the person delivers something and is like, how did this person know that I have this thing in me? That's the job of the CEO. And I'm saying CEO because I'm addressing all of us as CEOs of our units. Of our units. Of our units. For example, I requested all of us to introduce ourselves, and I noticed that a lot of us, our introduction was not really confident. Right? But it might not show, right? But in real life, this is not real life. But in real life, I actually don't talk like that. In fact, if I'm in the house, how many of us understand Yoruba? I will interpret. They used to greet me Ekujo Meta, people living in the same house with me. Do you know what Ekujo Meta means? Like, it's been 3 days I've seen you. I can be in the same room for a month. In as much as my laptop, my phone, and there's internet, and there's light, I'm okay. And thank God I have skills that can make me money without going out. But now, when I started to, express, I started with just doing videos and reviewing books and things like that. So when I started to have one-on-one encounter with people, talk to them, I can be in a place where they're talking about something I know how to do. I won't talk. I'll just be looking. And I know this thing. I won't say anything. So I would see someone who does not know up to what I know, execute it. And I'll not be angry that this thing did not do it well. But you didn't talk now. You didn't talk. So it was like that for ages. In fact, it got to a point where I would go out and train. My family member would see my video, and they would sincerely just crop us like, this is not okay. Do you know what they just said? They would see my video, and they just assume this person just looked like him. And it took them time to actually realize that, this is this person. Because the way I express myself outside, and when I'm back inside, I'm just like, and I'm the last born, so you can imagine. I just become last born back inside the house. You know, but I discovered that people were starting to make offers to me. Let me use the word as a last born. So they invite three people to come and do something, or maybe, you know, when I was still, I used to be in the media, so I started with video editing, graphic design, and things like that. So maybe they would give us, I would ask my colleagues that, how much are you earning, how much are you earning, how much are you earning? And they would say their price, and I'm like, why are they paying me this one? But guess what, I still don't have the audacity to go and ask for a salary raise. So the thing robbed me of a lot. There was a girl I used to like in secondary school. And another guy, a new guy came and he liked the guy and I helped him to toast the girl. You know, I used to write poetry, so I wrote poetry for the guy. And so I'd be looking at him like, but it's me that's, boy, you are the one that. So lack of audacity will rob you of it. You just be living a frustrated life. Because you see things that can actually be rightfully yours. But because you are not audacious enough to ask for it. Let me tell you something. Even people, even leaders, would not commit some responsibility or some positions into your hand until they know that you can confidently take over this thing. Even if they can see the competence in you, if the audacity is missing, they would not. And they will bring someone that might not be as competent, because there's a way audacity can even get other people to get the job done. In fact, someone who is not as good as you can audaciously get you to get the job done for him. It's a thing. It's a thing. One of the things I noticed with Doctor is that he's not really much of this formality person. He's a, let's just get the thing done. He's a straightforward person. All this grammar, is not really his thing. That's just, and I love it. Because I've been in a place where, you know, they will write letter, mail, go back, let's have a meeting, and you open the meeting, you'll be like, what exactly are we discussing in this meeting? And those processes sometimes, they just kill, they just kill everything. Like, you don't even, you just, what exactly are we doing here? But audacity to say, and see, sometimes it's even audacity to, because I remember there was a meeting I was in, and I told them, I said, if this meeting is more than 10 minutes, I will log out. I told them I will log out. So they asked me, okay, so funnily, the meeting did not last long. But my PA has been attending the same meeting, and she will spend like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So sometimes, people actually have the capacity to offer you what you are looking for. But see, there's a golden question. There's a golden right to tell people, at least ask. At least what? At least ask. And we are leaders. Even if finance will reject your budget, at least ask. It's like I came for finance this morning. Even if MD will reject your idea.
He's new, so he's trying to actually bring that system.
Okay. Is needed. Like I said, there's taking risk and managing risk. But at least what? At least ask. Don't just assume they won't approve it. I remember there was a time I was working in a marketing communications agency, you know. And then we just won a new account. I think that was the time we won Pick Milk's account. I should not be saying this on camera. So we just won that account and, okay, thank you. Okay. So we wanted the team, those of us, the team that won the pitch, we were like, we deserve to at least have maybe like an Asun night now for winning this multi-millionaire account. Like, it should be celebrated. Then, but all of us were like, so who will write the requisition? Who will go and tell the creative director? And a new guy in our midst, all of us were like 6 months, 1 year and above. But one guy that was less than 3 months, he just stood up and he went into the office of the, what's it called, ECD, Executive Creative Director. And he said, sir, you're not going to do anything for us for winning the pitch. And funny enough, you know what the ECD said? Funny enough, it's been on my mind, but I forgot. I'm telling you. Immediately, he just called the guys that organized, and they came, and they did it for, in fact, they now did it for the entire company. Just because someone took the audacity to actually just go and ask. To just go and ask. So it's actually it's a golden rule. Let me say this at this point. Even in your team, I understand the concept of leading by example. But you know that sometimes also, even when you know what to do, ask someone to do it. Ask someone to do it. In fact, there must be things you should consider yourself too valuable to be doing. There are 3 levels. Let me take this closer. There are 3 levels in organizations, basically. There's level 1, level 2, level 3. This is operations. This is management. And then this is corporate. This one is decisions. Right? This one is delivery. This one is supervision. For people in corporate level, we have for example, the MD, the head of finance. Their job is decision making. It's not supervision. So it's not that, I just did this, please, can you help me get this done? Can you help me check? That's not your job. Their job is strictly decision making. For people on the operation level, it's delivery. That is getting the job done. Now, as the team leader, you must fight everything to be here. Your job is not delivery, it's supervision. Because it's from supervision, you can be able to now know what can be done better, what can be improved on. But if you are here, you can't see it because it's like, how many of you have seen like maybe all this water production manufacturing plants? You know that everything is just going in a line. This is, if you are there, you can't see which place to put oil, which place to, no, you are on the line, you just keep going in circle. You must be outside of it to say that, okay, why are you doing 50? Why can't we do 100? So you must be here. If you are here, you can't drive the team forward here. It's impossible. You can't. And it is from this thing you now say, okay, this is what we can do better. You now recommend it for these people at this level. For decision making. Can we? So if it is when you're not doing your job that these ones have to now come down to supervision. And you are distracting them from their job. I tell my guys that my job is whatever I need to do or wherever I need to be, such that once any minute I open my mouth to talk, there's credit alert. That's my job. Any other thing you are making me do is distraction. That's my job. So, but in your own delivery, for example, we have a project in Ibadan, we are running, and you say, okay, we want to do this, we don't want to do that, and you're like, okay, the thing is, do you approve we should go ahead with it? This is how much it would cost. And even before you get to me, you first get to the head of account. When she reviews it, when she now says, I think this thing is a worthy thing, do you think we should go ahead with it? That's when I now make decisions. I've been in Abuja for quite a while. We have a project in Abuja. I've not been there. They've been sending me videos, this is what we are doing, this is what we are doing. Because there's head of construction. I don't need to be there. My own is, once they call that there's money in the bank. If I now leave putting money in the bank to go and support them on site, what am I doing there? I'm telling you that if you think you are working harder by leaving here to come here, you are actually harming the organization. It's not working harder. It's not. It's not working. See, I tell people that it's not by running around. It's not by let's it's not that they say, see the way I'm sweating. See, Olamide said, ọpọlọ no so, agbára kọ́. It means it's brain money they are paying, not power. In fact, if the most hardworking people are the richest, hope you know none of us here. None of us here, because there are people now that, thank God this is market. Just look out of your window. You will see hard-working people. But it's the quality of knowledge, and that's why here, like I used the example of the plant. Here, your own is just to align with the process already set. Who set the process from here? If these people don't do their job, these ones will be out of jobs sooner or later. If you let the corporate start doing this thing, very soon you won't have a job. Because they won't even be able to make decisions that will make the company have money to be able to employ people. So everybody needs to be where they are for the company to actually run. It's not hard work. For example, you might see maybe doctor just sit down in a spot for, let's say, hours. And you are running up and down. Meanwhile, what he's doing might actually be more valuable than what you are doing. Please hold on, I'll take questions. Now, you must be able to understand where exactly you fall. Where exactly you fall. I used to also think, there's humble background. There's no background. Some of us don't have background. You have to have a background for it to be humble. Right? Some of us don't really have background like that. And, at a point, all of my dreams was just, there's this person in our area. He has a car. I think Nissan Primera. 1990-something car like that. But that's the first time I'm entering a car. So that was my biggest dream then. And the wife of the man has a provision store. So all my dream then was grow up, have a job, open a provision store for your wife, come to work go to work in the morning, come to your wife, and go to work at night. That's my own definition of fulfillment. So I'm trying to make an illustration here. Because of that, when I see people, for example, when I see rich people, maybe they just drive past our area, it's either of two things. Number one, you've watched Nollywood. Definitely, there's one girl they are using for ritual. That's the first side. Or secondly, maybe they are politicians, they are stealing our money. So there's a way that every time I see anybody doing well, there's a way my mind just demonizes them. Even when I first got a job, I was working in NTA then as a video editor. When I first got, and I would see, our boss would just walk in and say, is the video ready? It's not. I need it by this time. It's going on here by this time. I'm wondering, this person has a car. All of those of us that even in the job, sometimes we work till late in the night. None of us had a car then. But this man, he's not doing anything. Just come. I don't want getting the job done. What I didn't know is that we even have the unit. It's because this man is in the office. I'm saying there's a way you can be at this level. And being at any level here is not based on, how do I explain now? It's not just because, it's not based on random sampling. And it's not because somebody is wicked or somebody is not. Why is there promotional structure in organizations? As you grow in the quality of knowledge behind your effort, you also grow in the responsibility. And don't deceive yourself. See, for example, let me give an example. Let me give an example of operational here. For example now, let's say you are the delivery guy, as a delivery guy now. If he carries maybe the product to go and deliver, and he makes a mistake, and maybe the product broke. Maybe the product is 20,000 naira, right? That's the cost, right, of the mistake. People here, one mistake can shut down the entire firm. So it is easy for us to think that it is easier the higher you go. No, because now your mistake is now costlier. And that's why it's not just given to anybody. You have to grow in a quality of knowledge to qualify for here. This one is not based on I can do. No. Can you think? Can you think? Because your mistake is costlier. When you are here, your mistake is costlier more than this one. Your mistake is, it's costlier more than this one. It's costlier. Recently, what's it called? A firm raised how much? I think about 18 million US dollars. And they still shut down. They still shut down. And it's not because maybe the sales rep did not do her job. No, it's from here. It's from here. Uneasy lies the wear that wears the crown. You know, we like the glitz and glamour, but we don't like the consequences attached. Someone invested with a friend of mine, and I think the investment was supposed to mature in like a month's time. Before the month's time, he had already gone to write police report in case he defaults. Now that's the pressure at this level. But let's say the front desk person does not know what's happening. I've been served. Do you know what it means to be served? When lawyers serve you, is there any legal person here? When lawyers serve you, it's similar to relationship breakfast. You know, sometimes you just receive some letter and you're like, what did I do? In fact, at a level, you have to now have a team of lawyers on standby because it's now a lifestyle. Some people are suing the likes of them Dangote, day in, day out. A person, someone has a casualty in the office, he served him. So it's already a lifestyle. It's already a lifestyle. So it gets tougher. And that's why if you are here, which I believe most of us are, you must understand that my job is supervision. And the better you do your job, the better you allow these people to do their job. And the progress we can make. There's this thing I used to tell, some of my staff, that when you want to do something, you can just ask yourself, what will Adesina do? What will Adesina do? And the same thing, we know Dr. Mohammed. You can just ask, how would he see this? How would he look at it? What would he have done? What would he have done? He's thinking expansion. He's thinking multi-state expansion, multinational expansion. He's thinking new investment. He's thinking growth. If he now has to start thinking of, has this product been delivered to this location? That's a distraction. And the more he cannot think of expansion, the more all of us are stuck. Because when we expand to a new state, who will go and become the branch manager? Who will grow to become a regional director? I tell people, what's it called? By certification, I'm a private wealth manager. And I tell people, I said, especially people that demonizes paid employment, I said anybody who demonizes paid employment does not qualify to be an employer. If regardless of who you are, if it ever comes out of your mouth, that salary is the money they pay anybody to forget his or her dreams, you don't qualify to be an employer. Because employment should be in two ways. It's either to transition you to become a co-stakeholder in the organization, or transition you to go and be a stakeholder in your own. Now, those two things, you see that there's one thing in common. You are actually envisioning leadership, which means that you cannot be lazy. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. If you truly know that one day, either I will become a co-stakeholder in this one, or go and become a stakeholder in my own, your work ethic will show it. It will show it. Every place I've ever worked, they used to think that maybe I'm a child of the founder or something. I carry it on my head. In fact, people used to call me with the surname of the founder. That's how much when I left, many people did not know. They didn't know. They still reach out to me. In fact, when some clients, they will still reach out to me. How is your daddy? He's the founder they're talking about. Because I have always known that I'm also going to do. So when I'm there, it's as if I'm doing internship for my own. That's how I see it. So when we do our own job well, these ones are able to do these ones. We are able to help this one do this one well. Right? So we must understand what category we are in whatever unit we're actually leading. Right? Now let me say something at this point, that there must be a clarity of vision of where we are going as a team. And we should all know what our strength and contribution is towards that vision. Where are we headed in the next quarter? What's our goal for this year? 20x. I think it seems like everybody knows that. We must all know. If you are going 20x, you know, there was a day my brother called me one of those days when I used to be an employee. And it was like around 11. And he said, where am I? It was video call, and he saw me on Suits, 11 p.m. And that's because the organization provided accommodation. And it was in the same company. Hope you know that in the setup. But, so he called me, and I was in the office. He called me video call. He saw me on Suits. Are you still in the office? I said, yes. Unje koma loe. It means you are letting them use you. You are letting them use you. This and this and this and this and this and that. But, you know, and personally, when you have an opinion, I don't try to convince you against it. I just say, oh, I will work on it. I will even promise you that I will work on it. I don't want to work on it, but maybe I know what I'm looking for. So, now, one of the things that thing did to me, my commitment in that place, is that now, I know what is required for whatever vision I'm setting. What I'm trying to say is that 20x is sweet to say. Right? But we put in the work to get it done. Several research, and permit me, I can be honest. I don't have to lie. Several researches have shown that in all honesty, there's nothing like work-life balance. Especially for people who want to do 20x. Am I saying trivialize your home or what? No. But I'm saying it will cost you. It will. We know it will cost us. And that's why, to be honest, if you don't believe in the vision to do 20x, if you don't think it's possible, you'll be the one dragging us back. Because even though you are saying you believe in it, your commitment will show it. It will just reflect. Like I said, it's not to trivialize, for example, maybe your health. No. I'm very health conscious. But I'm also saying it will cost us. It will. The day I got to Abuja, we met by, I think, 9 p.m. He was fasting I even forgot he was fasting that day. And that's like we met 9 p.m. That means we talked till. And the same, he had maybe was in the office that day. I just flew in that same day to Abuja. And I had about 3 meetings before I met him. That same day. But if he knows what he's looking, I know what I'm looking for. See, I have a funny philosophy that there's a way you want something or you're pursuing something. Only people around you will see that you're working hard. Such that, what I mean is that you'll be working hard, but the vision you are pursuing is so big, you can't even see your hard work. I don't know how else to explain it. That you are working hard, but because all you can see is what? The vision. You can't even see the... I don't know how to explain. People will be saying, take it easy. You are saying, but I'm not doing too much. I might not be able to tell you exactly what to do, but I can guide you how to do it. But commitment is non-negotiable. For example, if I say, what's the least amount of time that some of us here have been leaders? What's the least duration? Like 3 months? How many of you have been leader for 3 months? For 6 months? 1 year? 3 months? 3 months and above, right? Here, okay. Yeah, I'm talking about here. Since you become such leader, how many leadership books have you read? One. Okay. I said books. Which one? Don't worry, don't worry. How many, okay, what have you consumed about that leadership role? What material have you consumed? It could be documentary, it could be a film, it could be a movie, it could be a book, it could be what? You want to say something? You want to say something? Anything that you've consumed. Not 1 minute Instagram reel. Okay. So you said this is Ben Carson? Or what? Okay, Brain Tracy. Okay, Brain Tracy. All right, that's good. That's good. Let's not fall into the danger of assuming that with time I will get better. There's a law in physics that an object will remain at a state of rest until an external force is applied. Time does not change anything. In fact, time can make you retrogress if you are not careful. It go better. That's why some people have been conductor for 50 years. You make intentional effort to make it better. I have and let me say it maybe to help us. Permit me. I have a religious perspective to something. And even a lot of people have even theorized it in beyond religion self. Okay, let me just even say it like, how many of us believe in God? Let's not religionize it. How many of us believe in? Is there any atheist in the house? No atheist? Okay, thank you. Good. How many of us believe that God is our father? Or God made us? We believe that God made us. All right, good. If you are now a product of God, that means there's a deposit of that person's intelligence in you. Okay, now, if you see Dangote's child begging on the street, what will be your reaction? They say, help me, I don't have anybody, please give me food, I've not eaten since morning. What will be your reaction? How many of us is our lifestyle an insult to God? The way you present yourself, the way you talk about yourself, the way you do things, the way you invest. There's a level of excellence you demand from yourself that I will not be ashamed. The same way you say I will not be ashamed to my family. If you are like, if God is I should not, when I enter, they should know that, a child of, some of us, I think there's a Bible verse that says, he's the owner of 1,000, something on you. He has everything in the world, right? Everything is in his arms. So how come? How come you have a beggarly mindset? It's either two things. You don't believe in God. Or you don't believe that you actually have his deposit. I'm saying there's a level of excellence you demand from yours. You said that's why I take it away from religion and just take it to God generally. Right? There's a level of excellence you demand from yourself. This one is not KPIs. This one is your personal demand. That in this thing that I've been committed to, this is the least I will deliver. Personally. At that point, you are no longer working for Dr. Mohammed, you are working for yourself. And that's the peak way you can perform. I'm telling you. When I got into real estate, I was just coming from a failed business. I had 14 staffs. I had about over 12 million naira in debt when I got into real estate. So when they were saying that my salary was 75,000 naira, that one did not enter my ear. All I saw was there's 10% commission. And I saw their product, the minimum is, I think, at then 2.5 million naira. So you are saying that from 50,000 naira per sale I can make, that was all I needed to get. I became a mad person. I was using at P37. The same day I resumed was this I started making videos. I made my first sale in 3 weeks. Why? I was not working to be a good staff. I was working because I had debt. I was working for myself. Because I had something that me was looking after. In 6 months, I won 3 awards from the organization. Nobody needed to tell me to get to work early. There was something pursuing me. I became global lead. I became a senior management staff within a year. Within a year. It was not probably, I was the youngest. At that time, I was 23. I was training the entire staff in Nigeria, UK, US, and Dubai. In fact, many people do not like me, which is normal. But it was not also because it was not because maybe there was partial. In fact, that's the worst place to think you get anybody. Nah, the leadership knows, they know if you like, they know send you. But you have substance. There was this platform, and I really hope what I'm saying really makes sense to us. There was this platform where, maybe you know it, Steve Naita University. Every staff, I'm saying that you might even have access to things, but if you don't have a level of excellence you are demanding from yourself, even if they give you all the things that you need like this, you still not maximize it. All of us in the company had free access to the platform. Maybe, in fact, not maybe, I was the only one who finished everything on the platform as at then. Money Africa as an academy, as at 2022, I had watched every video on Money Africa platform. There's an excellence you demand from yourself. I have BSc in mass communication. By myself, I carry myself back to school for a BSc in economics. While doing that, and I have my financial modeling and valuation analysis certification, that's FMVA. I have my commercial banking and credit analysis. I have my commercial market, capital market and security analysis. I'm my private financial planning and wealth management certification. I'm currently doing, preparing now for my CFA. Do you think someone is telling me work hard? No. But funny enough, if you text me, I don't even put all those titles. Because I'm not doing it to show. But I'm doing it what I'm doing it for is that if all you had is 30 seconds to listen to me, you can't forget Adesina. That's it. It's a personal demand of excellence. Personal. Someone watched my video and commented, for the first time, I said I wanted to watch a video. I ended up finishing all my data. And for the first time, I don't regret it. You cannot regret it. Call it pride. Yes, I'm proud. Finish. If you have substance, you are permitted. How many of you want to collect money for someone? You are saying, if you are proud, don't give me. Am I saying look down on character? No. But I'm saying there are some points you get to that your substance, people will even not really look at your character. But it has to be. Nobody can really force you to deliver. It has to come from within. That this is the minimum I would ever report. Me. We are trying to grow the sales team. How many of us are head of sales closers? You personally, what's your plan to actually growing your team? We used to do, when I used to work, what's it called? When I used to work in IITA. So we're trying to build a digital team. We're building the e-learning platform then. So we're trying to recruit people. The way I talked about the platform we are building on my Facebook account then, 3 people that became staff applied. From the way a staff talked about the project the company was building, 3 quality people applied. All of us here, we are the first brand ambassador of this organization. First brand ambassador. And like I said, that's why I'm trying to link it back to the fact that find something that makes it appeal to you that you are working for yourself. It's a personal goal. When they mention your name, what result should be associated with it? What result should be associated with it? When your name is mentioned, what result should be associated with it? Even the way we dress. I'm not much of a fashionista, but I also know that the way you dress is the way you be addressed. So, for example, really, I don't mind wearing a t-shirt and a jean. I really don't mind. In fact, someone asked, why do you start wearing kaftan? You don't. I said, number one, I discovered that there's a sentimental attachment to kaftan.
Yes.
People just have a sentimental they just have this perception that there has to be. And I said, I didn't just stop there. I added a cap. You can't see any accessory on me. I don't. But I know that the cap alone speaks something. So it's simple, yet presents me in a light. It's not just simple. You cannot just be just simple. The world is designed in a way to look at you in a way. You must appeal to it. My sales game changed when I started hosting dinners in top hotels. People started looking, this guy's only. They started to think that, we can trust you with some amount of money. The way you dress as a leader. Someone said, don't carry yourself as where you are. Carry yourself as where you want to be. As a man thinks, so he is. Do you know? As a man thinks, so he is. Who are you? Are you just a normal sales closer? Let me tell you some of my past nickname. Feel free to laugh. My first nickname was Young Prof. I was in secondary school then. I don't even read in WAEC. I was already a professor. I was obsessed with Oloshoyinka. I was keeping my hair. I was everything like him. I was writing poetry, posting, everything. Young Prof. It became everything. At a point, I discovered that, you know what? I want to take it a step further. I became Okwe Big Head. Then when they asked what's the meaning of big, I said my head it might not be big physically, but it's big internally. Then was when I now committed myself to books. Because I wanted to live up to the name. When I got into real estate, I became the $1 billion realtor. There was a time I even had a show, Wealthy Ways. I had just several. In fact, when I was working in, the first real estate firm I worked before GTEX, I was a sales representative. I had a business card. I wrote Senior Wealth Advisor. I was what in the organization? Sales on my own business card, I wrote Senior Wealth Advisor. To you, that is who I am. To me, this is who I am. And I carry myself as a Senior Wealth Advisor. When you enter a place, how do you carry yourself as a leader? Are you inspiring? And there's no inspiration without content. It's not grammar. No, there's a way you consume something. When you speak, people know that, okay, Sibe, something is there. It's not grammar. I did a session. I just handpicked a few people that were active. But I used to do, last December, I was doing back-to-back TikTok live session, TikTok live. So about 10, 15 people were really active on those live sessions. So I handpicked all of them, put them in a group, and I taught them for 14 days straight. Two of them did their first 10 million naira. One of them did $13,000 in that December sales. Another one expanded. I was still in his office in Lagos recently. He expanded to a bigger warehouse. In fact, everybody that came with me, he gave them clothes free of charge. He was so happy I came. But now, when I gathered them together there, and I was teaching them, it was not because, how do I put it now? It was not grammar. And guess what? All of them, I didn't ask them for anything. Maybe, you say, send me money. There's a way you talk that even the blind or the deaf can hear that, there's something more here. By God, they are making people millionaires since 2022. People making their first million through me since 2022. So in 2024, I decided that I want to take it a step further. I want to start doing formal companies, consulting teams and things like that. I had to go back because it's a new level of knowledge entirely. That's why I had to go and find a way to become a corporate development professional. Corporate development is not business development. Corporate development is business development plus a business investment mindset. That means you have to have the understanding of how business buys businesses, what metric businesses use to buy businesses. And when you know that, you know what metric to check the growth and potential of your own business. That's corporate development. So it's business and investments together. You two in your own unit. In fact, Sorry, what? You're a video editor now?
Yes, sir.
Right. What's your own view of yourself? Number one, it should be, I want to assume, it might not be what you want, I just want to assume, that maybe one of the leading cinematographers in Africa. That is the way you come to work. That is the way you approach every single deliverable. When you compare your work, it's not with another competitor, it's with the biggest campaigns out of Africa. Am I communicating something? So someone say you are doing well. When you compare your work, you compare campaign that is going on, maybe on national TV, you are like, no, I'm not doing anything yet. That one, nobody, no KPI can measure it. It is you. And with that, you are forever relevant. Forever relevant. Copy and paste this thing in your own niche. My accountant, I met her when she just finished school as a marketing graduate. Then I saw that she had interest in, what's it called, accounting, in admin and accounting then. So I told her, pick this course, she picked. Did this course. Then she started this petty business management software installation and things like that. So she was struggling. That was before she became an accountant. I told her, I said, she lives in Ilorin. I said, there's a place called Challenge in Ilorin where bulk of businesses are. I said, walk up to them every day, Monday to Friday. Actually speak to 20, 25 businesses. That month, she made her first million. She entered the business she entered my firm as making 75,000 naira. In fact, I have an undergraduate working with me now that makes 300,000 naira every month. An undergrad is in 300 level. In fact, a graduate works under him and earns half of what he's earning. Because it's not degree, deliverables. It's not degree, it's deliverables. He's the one who even put the graduate through that, oh, do this thing, do this one. This is how we do it here. He tells them, this copy, I don't like it, rewrite it. Undergraduate. Like, people don't pay you because, I'm not, okay, maybe my ITA job was the only one I use my BSc to apply for. But their art skill I bring to the table. There's hardly any digital skill I do not have. Hardly. I might not be as good as him, but if you still give me Premiere Pro, I will cut and join. I will add dissolve. I will shall do transition. I might not him now, maybe to add After Effects and all those things. I might not know that one now. Give me Photoshop, I'll give you badass designs. Give me Illustrator, I will give you a proper branding for your business. When it comes to finance also, I can prepare a proper business plan. Proper. Feasibility study, proper. You think people will just give you money to go and become a business advisor, be on the what's it called, board of advisors, because you speak one grammar on Instagram? No. You think he will expose you to someone that he does not know as substance? No. There must be a level of excellence you demand from yourself. From yourself. That doctor not being around for months, your excellence is still constant. Still constant. Still constant. Still constant. Now, 3 things, I'm trying to put them, align them now together so that we will not have them scattered. Number 1, vision. Number 2, confidence. Number 3, consistency. Number 4, continuous learning. Continuous learning. Vision, confidence, consistency, continuous learning. And then the 5th thing. Let me ask us a question. Let me ask you a question. Anybody, what's your biggest dream in life? At least right now. I know dreams or goals. Let me just use the word dreams. It's expand, but at least right now, what's your biggest dream? To be an ambassador of Nigeria. Awesome. Okay, who else? Who else? I want to take 3 people. So 2 more people. You should be confident in your dream now. Don't worry. Biggest livestock farmer in Africa. Awesome. Who is the current biggest livestock farmer in Africa? You see that that's not a dream. That's just a fantasy. Who else? Okay.
Politics.
Politics. You want to be the president?
Now I want to be a senator.
Why no president?
To be a one of the best brand marketers.
Brand marketer. Which firm is the biggest marketing agency in Nigeria right now?
I don't know about this, but I know about this person.
Who? Seth Godin. Okay. And Seth Godin has an agency now.
I don't know.
Okay, sir.
He is the biggest textile designer.
Textile designer now. Who is the current biggest? Risco. Okay, I don't know them though. All right. Now, that leads me to the fifth thing I wanted to put here. Right, and that's your dreams. Everybody who has ever built, everybody you look at today or you hear today, and you are like, who is this genius? Who is this? I've realized, in all honesty, many of them, in fact, let me say this. Have you ever asked whether Dangote ever thought that he would become the richest man in Africa? Whether Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk thought that they would be the richest man in the world. To be honest, I personally don't think so. It might be. I personally don't think so. But I know that there's one thing that they must have conceived. They will always, and it's even when you hear them speak, that thing that they do, they want to do it to the biggest and best of how it can be done. Are we together? They want to do that thing to the biggest and best of how it can be done. Now, everything I wrote here can be combined into just two. That when we have those two, to be honest, in fact, just one, actually. That when we have just one, every other thing can be found in that one thing. And do you know what that one thing is? Who can try? Consistency? Okay. Who else? Vision? Who else? Vision? What said vision? You said vision? Continuous learning. You said vision. Who else? Dreams. Okay, who else? Huh? Confidence. Okay. To be honest, everything is vision. What do you see? That's all. That's all. That's all. What do you see? Who do you see? Is vision. When you truly see something, you will be consistent. When you truly, you will continue to, because you know that the quality of who you are today cannot get to the quality of what you are seeing. It can't. So now you know that you have to learn. Oshe, Durella. It's not possible. It's not. I think, I was just telling someone recently, I said, I think some of our CEOs and MDs need to start telling us the rough edges in what they do. It's easy to always show up clean and you have everything figured out and, you are the boss. They might need to actually start telling us the days they don't feel like coming to work. The day they don't even know whether what they are doing is going to work or not. The day that they are spending, someone said an entrepreneur's bank account is $10,000, is $0 minus $50, $1 million is zero. We actually need them because the way entrepreneurship is being communicated now is like it's a straight line thing. Just have an idea and everything is just whew. But there's something you see that keeps you enduring. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you are here, it simply means one thing. We are grooming ourselves to come here. That's the only thing it means. if you are called to become the CEO for one day, can we trust this organization? Or for one, let's even say 1 week. Say, he just said, and I was dreaming, and an angel just said, you are being the CEO for 1 week. And it would not add any input. Can you? You know that if you carry yourself thinking like that every day, naturally you outperform everybody. Because your level of thinking will be different. It's still vision. I started with saying that all of us must be CEOs in our unit. It's still vision. Let me give us a case study, right, of McDonald's. How many of you have seen the movie The Founder? You've seen the movie, thank you. So, McDonald's brothers opened their company, they were selling burgers, and one guy came suddenly and he said, this is the best burger I've ever eaten. And the main thing was not even their burger. The main thing was their system, that they can deliver in 30 seconds. I have a friend who delivers clothes in 24 hours, from textile to finished product in 24 hours. So that was the system. That's what they were selling. And the guy said, we can have this as a franchise. And they said, we've tried. It failed. And the guy said, why not try again? And they said, okay, no problem. That's actually after a lot of fights. So they gave the guy, for those of us who actually watched the video, when he actually tried also, he first failed. The rich guys he went to take, those who messed up the business, he also failed again. But what is between him and them? When they failed, they quit. When he failed, he asked, what exactly caused this failure? The people I was hiring, they are not hungry. They already have money. Let me find people that can roll up their sleeves. Doctor, you know what I've discovered? The best staff are those who don't have glamorous CVs. But they have one thing, hunger. Hunger. They will get the certification on the job because they are hungry. They won't give excuse because, and most time, those kind of people, they are people that they don't have any other hope elsewhere. Is it that this thing works and I make it here or I make it there? Why do you think that guy, Ray Kroc, gave everything he has to that thing? Number one, his wife didn't see what he was seeing. She was like he's chasing his tail. So he didn't really have a happy home. He has sold like 1 million things that didn't succeed. So this one was his only hope of either succeeding. So it was either I died doing this one or I died here. And that's just the X factor. That is just the X factor. Many of us, let's not lie, you have plan B. When I started my journey, my own family called me and sat me down. Stop posting on social media. Stop exposing yourself. Just imagine I'd listened to them. Is it not good? This life, teach you any better. Amandawa Bojeni. It means if you're yam cook, you will. It means when God is blessing you, don't expose yourself, Abi. And all those times, I learned lifestyle from the best. You are entering planes, someone is doing video. You are coming out, someone is doing video. You are in a restaurant, someone is doing video. Everything video. Everything. Someone said, don't stop posting yourself. And thank God I had Agidi. First of all, I blocked all of them. So who will be paying my bills today? If I had listened. So there are some advice that sounds nice, but actually, people can just be casting their insecurities on you. So he was planting. And also, why you know that it's not because he was smarter. Number one, he got to a point where he also was broke. He had to meet someone that told him that the money is not in the burger, the money is in the land. And he had to flip the business. At the point also, he got to realize that the milkshake they were doing was consuming them more money. They had to change to powdered milkshake. They also refused that one. At the end of the day, he bought them out of the company. Why? Vision. But what you should realize is that from the first day he met them, he was already thinking as if he's the owner of McDonald's. Everywhere he went, he was talking to everybody as if he's the owner. When I meet you and you don't carry the brand, I can tell how your commitment would be. Commitment can be seen. No? Don't say, my God sees my heart. Am I God? Am I God? I can't see your heart. Is the leadership God? Are they God? I'm already self-driven. Which is why most I pay for right now is one-on-one. It's not even mentorship. I just want to have an opportunity to ask you questions. That's all. That's what I pay for now. Or if you see me travel to go, that's what and it might not be something, it might just be one question I want to ask. How did you do this? I've searched, maybe one thing I've been struggling with, and I know that you've gotten it. That one question, I'm willing to pay any amount just to ask you, how did you get it? And don't tell me grammar. Show me, okay, that's what I'm gone again. But I figured out what really differentiates many of us from every other person is this thing. How do I explain? I know people that were my bosses in all the places I've worked. Today, I've gone ahead. What's the difference? Vision. Bosses, not even bosses. I know people that employed me that today, if I can have employment, they don't mind coming to work. It's not that life is not fair. It's not. Because there's a way this thing drives you. There's a way it drives you. That maybe, how many of us are sales closers here? We have target, Abby. Maybe our target is 1 million naira per week. Just an example. Personally, you say, no, me, I have to do 10 million. So when everybody is making maybe 10 calls in one day, just an example, you are saying, I can't go home until I make 100. This one is not because anybody is watching. It's because me, this is what I want. It's not because HR would say, it's me. Many of the things that will grant you what you really want, even your company cannot pay for it. It's not that they have any incentive for it, but you are doing it because of what you want. Because of what you want. Because of what you want. That's okay. I'm going to be so good at this managerial level. I give myself 6 months. I want to enter corporate level. And you are checking. Maybe you are the head of sales team. Which sales team is performing the best in this country? Can I start observing organizations? Can I start looking at them? Can I start checking out what their sales processes are? One of the things I wanted to do was to make a call actually in to see how I was going to be attended to. Because one of the things I've realized is that I've reached out to a lot of organizations. Maybe we are trying to do something and we are looking for vendors. And I'm like, many salespeople are the reasons why the organizations are losing money. The way they will respond to you, you'll be wondering, are you that rich that you don't need new customers? I'm telling you. The way they will respond, you just be wondering. It will be as if you are begging them to please now, sell for me. It's vision. It's vision. Permit me. How many of us are in sales here? Like sales leadership? Please, let's use our hand. Okay. Do you know that if we do the 20x, our annual income also increases? Have you done the 20x for yourself? Not for you now check, how much did I make last year? If I 20x it, how much am I making this year? You should do it. So that it's now no longer what the company will make. You can now see how much you will make. I won't say some things, but let me just say it. There's a time I told myself that this is the last time I'll travel by road. And that thing alone, I know what it did to me. There's some decision you must make that would affect everything you are doing. I would rather die. See, wait, I asked us in the beginning, how many of us are from rich background? Me, I don't know any other way out of out of managing, apart from selling, apart from being good, extremely good at what you do, I don't know any other way. One of my motto is stay broke. That's one of my motto. Staying broke does not mean that you are broke. It simply means that when money enters your hand, you've put it into structures that you don't have cash. I was talking to, what's it called? I was talking to my fiance yesterday, and I was sending a video of our project in Abuja. She said, do we have land in Abuja? I said, sit down there. We are leaders, right? You are a template to everybody under you. If you are a sales leader for 1 year and you are still broke, you are not inspiring me under you to sell. That's what I'm saying. You are not inspiring me. You are not telling me that it's possible to make it. So you should be fired because you are discouraging every other person. Yes. Or you should be, another person should make, I don't know how else to say. That's the truth. That's the truth. It's vision. Permit me to use the solution. Jesus, for the joy set ahead, endured the cross, despised the shame. Abi, how many of us are Christians? Abi, am I lying? So what are you saying that, what shame are you enduring? What cross are you bearing for this? I'm not saying it will happen this way, but it's until it's, but it's not waiting until it is, you're also doing something. I was on flights recently, and I booked late, so there was no business class seat, so I was in economy. Also, there was a time I said I would never travel by road again. There was a time I decided also I would never enter economy again. You know, that's another level again. Yes. Now maybe next time I'll say no more commercial flights. That also means that you have to make the money, Abi. Because I think PJ now, Lagos to Abuja is like $3,000. To you, it might look like a waste of money, but in one flight, you can close ₦1 billion deal. You know what I'm saying now. You meet someone, it must be. I was trying to give you an example.
You booked late.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I booked late, so I was in economy, and then I looked to my right, and then there were like elderly people, like, not really elderly, but elderly people there. And I said, I'm glad that I am in economy at this age, so that I won't be in economy at this age. Well, the way I think, so this is the only way I know how to think. There was a time we were boarding, and then, I actually got to the airport late for my flight, so I ran to catch up. I said, I can't wait. When it is at my time that we fly, I can't wait. Everything looks like insult to me. The way we queue to enter the plane, everybody body odor is, I'm like, I can't wait. Where there will be another terminal. That's me. It's vanity, Abi. I like it like that. Is it your vanity? Me. I like the vanity. We'll still meet in heaven, no worry. What have you done? What? Some of us are not in sales. Most of us are in sales, right? Even with, one thing, do you sell too? Even, there's a way you grow as a video person, such that is your company that is even holding your leg, because they know that everybody's looking for you. Do you get what I just said? They know everybody's looking for you. So they're like, we'll reduce your salary, we'll double you, because they know that you are hot cake. But guess what? The increased salary is not gifts. It's because they know what you are delivering. Nobody gives handouts. If you are that valuable, people will pay. Nobody, don't blackmail anybody. It's not. Oh yeah, you to leave now. Let's see. Let's see whether other people will increase it too. Does it sound wicked? Oh no. It's not. We are leaders, right? And we are inspiring people, so our lives should inspire them. If you are not hungry, nobody you are leading can be hungry. Nobody, it's impossible. It's impossible. Nobody you are leading can be hungry. Nobody. What books are you reading? What documentary are you watching? What are you listening to? A friend of mine said, he who has your here time has your lifetime. From morning to night, it's lao, you are listening to. Lao has made it. At least you two la, so that you can hope. Do you know that as you are listening, hope you know as you are listening, you are paying him. Let me tell you, one of the things that first propelled me to actually take my content serious was when I realized that every time I come online, I'm paying someone. Who is coming online to pay me? Some of you now, you've paid, only God knows how many people you've paid this money, but nobody has paid you. We are leaders. We are leaders. How many of us have a car? How many of us want to change our cars? How many of us think, I don't really need a car yet? I can still stay like 3 years more. Just imagine that. Just imagine that when I was coming here to teach you about this thing, I was eating agbado, and I was like, do you have okpadie? Will you listen to me? You'll be like, go and make it first now. You're telling your sales, pardon me to fail sales people for now. You're telling your sales team that, do you know that with your commission, you can make, if you sell this amount of thing, you can make amount. He's asking, so why have you not sold it? Why have you not sold it? Or you think they don't have the right to ask? They do now. They do. When I get to an organization, I take people that have been there for 5 years. They are my future. They are example of what I can be. If they don't look like my 5 years, I'm out. So you know that someone can come in and leave because your life does not tell them there's possibilities here. They just say, this will never make up. There are no things that will make up. It's sales. The richest people should be finance people. Wait, I'm telling you my own. The first time I picked a finance course, and the course was at least for my level then, it was $1,000. So it pained me to spend the money. I said, if I don't make this money back, call me bastard. The way I took the course, I was angry with it. The day I finished, I created an offer, sold it, the money came back. I used to tell people that, what's it called? I don't want to be a signboard. You know what signboard is? You point people to destination, but you never get there. And do you know that you can invest 20% in this, 20%, but you say borrow 2K. I'm sorry if this is harsh, but we are leaders. We can tell ourselves the truth. The truth. Nobody should be more hardworking than us. We should be a model, a template. And see, everybody that comes that you are leading, that's God entrusting them into your hand. If you don't lead them into where that God will judge you. But really, we are templates. How many of us don't look at doctor and we are inspired? That's what we are talking about. The same way is inspiring you to inspire someone. You to inspire someone. To inspire someone. You know, one of the sad things that I've come to admit is that not everybody will still do it. Guess what? 5 years later, we will still all connect. Oh, you don't know. In the next 5 years. But will you be the one saying, Omo, you've changed though. God, when? It's not in grammar. We are leaders, so what's your vision? What are you seeing? We are doing 20x. Can Doctor hire 20 new sales staffs now and said, I hand them over to you, and tell those people that under I, if you don't become a millionaire in 3 months, I'll give you 1 million naira each. Can he say that? If he cannot say that, you are not worth being here. Simple. You don't deserve this position. 1 million is... How many of us are known for Baobab, personally? People know you for Baobab. A lot of... But is it converting? We are leaders. When I was leading some interns, I told them, I said, we have 3 months together. I'm not saying all of you will make it, but the sign that I succeed in what I'm doing is that at least there will be 3 people out of you that will do landmark sales. One did over 300 million, another one did over 100 million, another one did over 50 million. That's minus other 1 plot, 2 plot that they sell. 3 months. 3 months is enough. If I judge myself a lot with 90-day rule, if I want to maybe get into another level, it's 90 days I give myself. What do I need to do for the next 90 days to get into this? It's 90 days. I went to Ibadan, I think around October or something. Said, I need a project here. That'll be landmark. In 90 days, we got over 50 acres. In the next 90 days, what's your vision? Write it out. And write it in the sense of how much you will be making. You shall know how much. For example, say you want to make, from 90 days now, you want to make, let's say, 10 million naira. So you know how much you have to sell to any commission to make this one your own. You're not revenue for company. You. How much? Because it is from here I want you to ask me questions. I don't want vague questions. I want hands-on practical questions. How did I can be diligent? Please don't ask me. Please. Practical question. How many of us are using a phone that are worth over 500,000 naira? How many of us are using phones that are worth over 500,000 naira? Okay? I'm seeing 3 people. Do you make 500,000 naira a month? 500,000 a month? 5,000 a month? So what are you doing with the phone? What are you doing with the phone? What are you doing with the phone? You know, in all honesty, I know what I'm saying might be funny. I actually mean everything I'm saying. I do. There's nothing nice about Sapa. And not even just because of you. You have team members. You are communicating to them. I know people that if I had worked with them longer than I did, I would never be the additional you know today. They will kill they will suffocate every potential out of me. Anything they want to use bread and beans to off me. You have to be in an environment. I keep, when I left GText, a lot of people wanted to think that I would say something bad, or, the way people would be asking some funny questions about how was it. I told them, I said, I will not even tell you anything about my operation. I said, through this place, I lived in Banana Island for 1 year. Do you know what has happened to my mind? On the right is Alen Oyema. Do you know Alen Oyema? Founder of Airpeace. On the right, my right neighbor. On the left, the man has a Rolls Royce that only goes to church on Sunday. That's all the Rolls Royce was there for. Just for Sunday service and come back. Seeing that every week, you think I was still normal? But guess what? There were still many of my colleagues that were still normal till today. Many of them that are still normal till today. See, sometimes, after something like this, however you know how to ask God, you're going to ask God, help me not to be foolish. Help me to see. Because in the next 90 days, how many of us am I going to see? And it's going to be it's going to be a different game entirely. At least you stop wearing all these fake wigs. I honestly don't mean to insult anyone. But we are ladies like to be taken care of, right? How many of you like shopping therapy? You see? But what is therapy when you are checking all the price tag? I like it though, but sorry. I like it though, but that was the therapy in that one. You are even more stressed than you came. But you just say, that one, here's my card. At least. But start with vision. There's a way you drive yourself, even though they'll tell you, Alpha, relax. Telling you. That's why I linked it to you. How much do you want to make? You, not the company. 20x your own. Your own, not the company. Your own now. Your own now. You as a person. You as a person. You as a person. You as a person. Let me tell you one of the things I do. Try it at home if you have the mind. Right? And it's a simple rule. I put myself in trouble. How do I mean? For example, you like a car that you want to buy. And you have a savings of, let's say, 200,000 naira. And the car is, let's say, 10 million. Right? Let's say 10 million. And let's say you have like 500K that you saved up. Then you go to the car dealer and say, this 500,000 that I have. Every month I'll be giving you 10 million divided by 3. That's 3.3. Every month I'll be giving you 3.5 million naira. So I'll pay for 3 months to come and collect it. If I don't come back, deduct 30% from my money. If I cannot bring it in the first month, deduct 30% of my money and give me the money back for holding the car for me. How many of us can do that? Sometimes there needs to be a consequence for you not achieving that goal to achieve it. Let me ask you the question. If they put all of us in prison now, or if they say, all of us that were here, if you don't make 10 million naira in the next 3 months, you are going to be killed. How many of us will make it? So why are you not making it now? Because there's no consequence. I said 10 million, not billion. No. Million. Hold on. I like the feedback I'm getting, actually. I like the feedback. How many of us think 10 million is a big money? No. It might not be big to you. That's you. But it might be big to someone else. You think it's a big money. Good. I did a video recently. I said I can start a business with zero capital, and that today 0 naira, next week 10 million naira. And people came for me. And one of the things that I drew back was, how much is 10 million naira? But I realized there's a lot of money for a lot of people. But firstly, as long as that money is a big money for you, your chance of making it is already very low. There's something called money threshold. Are we together? We are leaders, so we have to discuss this thing. There's something called what? Money threshold. It means this is the circle or the range of the money you are comfortable with, and that's the range of money you will ever make. So, for example, check for the past 1 year, how much is the average amount in your account? That's your money threshold. Some of us is 50,000 naira. Some of us is 100,000 naira. Some of us is 2K. Some of us, even when, how many of us have gotten a deposit of, let's say, 500,000 before? How many of us have gotten deposit of 500,000 before? 500,000. How long did it last in your account? How long did that range last? That means your threshold is not yet there. Yeah. That's your threshold.
So, sorry. Taking your first statement in the area, that's people. So, what's it there?
Yeah, no, when you put it into assets, the assets are also part of what you now have now. It's not part. But that you spent it and there's nothing again. I'm not saying you bought bag or bag shoe. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you put in something that is making you more money back. That's your threshold. And one thing many of you need to do is called money rehearsals. Money rehearsals. The first time I ever went to make a pitch of tens of millions, the amount was 32.5 million naira. I could not pronounce it. After making the pitch, the CEO said, so how much is total? I said, this is it, sir. How much is, I said, it's on the board. How much is, I could not say it. It was too before my mouth. Are you comfortable with $1 billion? You are looking at me, safe. But it's true. It's true. Are you comfortable with $1 billion? Nobody will do business with you in an amount you are not comfortable with. You won't even gravitate towards it. That's the thing. You won't even. And don't assume that because as a company we are doing it, you are doing it. No, it might be the MD threshold we are leveraging on. So that we don't, there's something, there's a sense of false progress. I've seen people that were like managerial role in organizations and they sack and they have to go back to maybe a menial staff. Have you seen anybody like that? Yes. Because it's a sense of false progress they had. In the real marketplace, they're actually not valuable. Oh, I know a lot. Close to home self. Head of this. You talk to them, you know that this person cannot head anything. I'm telling you. So the fact that we are doing the figure is not you. That's MD's threshold that you are seeing. You go and define your money rehearsals. Sometimes just wake up and just look in the mirror and just, okay. Let's do practical. Give me a practical, you are a salesperson, right? Yes. Okay, practical of a product and the volume you can sell to make, let's say, 10 million. No, just give me an example.
Okay, actually done behaviorally Liverpool with a product for charities. And also
What do you call the name?
Behavioral
Liverpool. Liverpool, okay. How much is it?
One is 18,000.
18,500, okay. Is it one box?
One pack.
One pack, okay. Does it have a carton? One bottle. Okay, so the bottle is now it has a pack, right?
Yes, a pack, 24.
24 in a pack, okay. 24 in a pack. Right. So that's, how much is a pack? Do you know? No, 18 5 times 24, that's what I'm asking.
So what I said on discount.
Just tell me how much a box is. A box of 24, how much is it? 240,000. Thank you. 18 5 times 24, please. Someone should do calculator. Who now said 240? 400 and what? 444,000. Okay, thank you. 444,000. If you sell this, what's the commission? What's the commission?
If you reach a percentage, right? We're trying to know percentage.
Okay.
70%, then you're going to get a commission. Each order, you're getting 300.
Each order you're getting.
500.
So that means it's 300 naira times 24.
Yes.
Can- 500 times 24. So what's 500 times 24? Someone should do that math. So that means 500 times 40 is what? Someone should do that. 20,000. Good. That means that's 80,000 naira in a month.
There is incentive for upsells too.
Okay. So there's like network something. Okay. Now,
No, for selling higher package.
okay, upsell. That is, you are selling more products together with it. Okay. Upsell. Now, this is what I want to say. How many hours do we work for salespeople? Like to call, huh? Normal 9 to 5 to call, right? And we're always calling. Do we have break time? We have 1 hour break time. Right. What time do we close? 5 p.m. We close at 5 p.m. Okay, good. Are we together? Now, personally now, do you think there are retailers you can actually go and sell to? Let me give you one strategy. Let me give you one thing I used to do when I used to run a digital agency. Right? I take a stroll around certain axes. And everybody I see that can pay me the kind of money, maybe like 100,000 a month as a then, I will take their signpost and take their number. And I'll call them. And that's how I got my first few clients. Call them, schedule a meeting to go and meet them, and I close them. As leaders, the people under you who are normal salespeople, yeah, they can sell units, but you should be able to think on how do I get this bulk sales done? How do I start selling to retailers? How do I start bringing in the bulk revenue? Such that as a leader, your job should be going out to close deals with corporates, B2B. You close one deal, you make 12 million. Maybe one person buy, or let's say, times, okay, you close one deal, you make 1.2 million. Someone buys 100. If you close one deal, make 1.2 million if you like, and say, I'm done for the week. Depending on how long you are. But I'm showing us what's possible. As leaders, we should be doing bulk.
Yeah.
We should be doing bulk.
In fact, it's one of the things where I was supposed to incorporate this.
Oh, okay. You see? We should be doing bulk. B2B.
Because they are less, they just sit down in the office, provide it for them. They don't go
Sales executive or sales leaders, we don't need you in the office.
Yeah.
Get people in the office to be calling. You go after the bulk deals.
Yes, right on.
See, you can see, I mean,
Why don't get a card?
yes, of course.
Bulk deals.
The box sale is for everybody. It's not peculiar to salespeople.
You know, you go after bulk deals. In fact, for these 24 units now, For this liver, what's it called? I don't know. For liver pro, is this something that people can take normally?
Yes, the supplements.
Like a supplement.
Supplements. Okay. How for a family of 5?
Yes.
How soon can how fast can they consume 24 packs? 24 day pack of 24.
Depends on the problem.
No.
One
This
person,
is
You say it's supplements now. That means they can take it normally.
one person is going to take one capsule.
So a
3 months.
family of 5 will take them to like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, good. To finish a pack. Okay. So what if there's a way you can sell this to families that they can subscribe for 1 year? And they will make it a normal part of their diet. That every 3 months we'll just subscribe, giving it to you. Maybe instead of, this is 4 now in a year, 1 for 3 months, that's 4 in a year. So instead of 4, we give you maybe a discount to get 5 or something.
We do that same.
For families, so they just make it a part of their stuff. And that's, this 444,000, right? Times, it's like, what's it called? There's something like, how many of us know Renso? It's also one supplement like that. It's almost as expensive as this. And I know, at least I know about 4 families that is their normal regular. They have it. I think one pack, that one sachet itself is like 8,000. Just one sachet. And one sachet is what you drink once. And I know families that it's part of their, even children going to school, they give it to them. So don't think it's too expensive. These are the kind of deals you should be thinking as sales leaders. These are the kind of deals you should be thinking. It's the money. Sell to pharmacy. Now, your question or your pitch to the corporate people will now be, okay, in a bid for us to encourage these people to sell, can we do some things? Maybe, for example, give them a signpost branded by BioHub for those pharmacies, the same thing like Coca-Cola does. So you now start thinking of how to close, what we can do to help us close these deals faster for corporates to approve. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how you should be thinking.
So we're hitting the streets, right?
Yes, sir.
So you should be thinking. From the street to social media, you see any pharmacy, new pharmacy opening, you take their number, call them, immediately you move there. Oh, we can be supplying this supplement and it's going to sell, I promise you. We give you a branded stuff and it's to sell, you sell to them. You have your sales pitch.
In fact, we've done the marketing finish for them.
This is where your money is. There's this movie I would like some of you to go and watch. It's about medical sales. What's the name of the movie? Oh? It's about medical sales. They were like a struggling pharmaceutical company that were supplying drugs. Yeah, you know, one prostitute like that come and sell to them. Yeah, I will check the movie, maybe I'll send it to the doctor. You would see that at least go hard or go get away. To be honest, unless you just don't want to make the money, unless you don't, unless you have a plan B. And let me tell you, apart from the money you would make, number one, you are building relationships with those people, which is more valuable beyond when you are here. That's one. Anybody who can buy for 4,000 products from you is a millionaire. See how you are improving your network. Number two, you are building an Audacity that you can sell anything in this life.
Yes, pain hustlers, yes.
Huh? Pain hustlers, yes. Please go and check the movie out. Pain hustlers. So they do something like, for example, maybe you have some pharmaceutical owners for pharmacy that you want to close, right? You can say, and based on what we do, we host a monthly dinner where we just invite all of them there, close them there. You tell them that we have a minimum BOQ of 100. And all you just need, maybe you make a deposit of this amount of money to close them. Sales is get the money. Get the money. Get the what? Get the money. See, if someone is chatting me, I might have other priorities. Once that conversation leads to money, you are my priority. I don't care whatever. Once I know that this is a potential money here, now me go the first chat you before you chat me. Don't leave money on the table. Don't leave money on the table. Can you sell to banks? I believe we are what's it called? NAFDAC approved. Yes. That's based on the kind of, maybe there's one that else general wellness. That can you use it as your, staff compensation, part of your staff compensation, something. Just give I5 for an entire branch. Sell to anybody. Corporate can add it as, for example, Ramadan is coming. They are doing Ramadan pack. Can you sell it to them to add part of their pack? That's Eid. Right? Eid pack. Add it to pack. You must 247. You must be thinking of how to make money, how to sell, who to sell to. 247. Every day you are getting new creativity, new people to meet. You can't be waiting for only the strategy that the organization brings. Why are you now a sales leader? You must be working sales ideas. Working sales ideas. You meet someone in what do you do? Oh, I have this firm. Oh, wow. Your staff, you should get them, apart from the goody you get, you should get them something that caters for their health also. I can send you a pack. I'll give you a discount. It's actually 75,000 naira, but I'll give you 30,000 naira off, so you can get 50,000 naira, so you can get for 450. That is sales psychology right there. That's sales psychology right there. I have something that I buy from this one. 1,000 naira. I will sell for another person. 10,000 naira. And this person is the one making the product. See, sales can be dicey, but I tell you, if you approach it as a do or die affair, in fact, the primary role of top CEOs is sales. That's why they are even where they are. It's sales. It's sales. It's sales. Are we following what I'm saying? In the next 90 days, no, we must. How much is Van Cleef? You see, how many of you know T20 luxury? He's been calling out fake designers now recently. No problem. Wait, is it two already? Okay. Is that everybody that is going? Yeah, is that the people that are going? That's what I'm asking. Sales. In fact, you can't drive an organization forward if you are not a core salesperson. Why do you think every people that actually build something, they used to find a business person to be a partner? Actually, it's just formality that is called business. What they're actually looking for is a salesperson. Steve Jobs is a salesperson. He's a salesperson. Look at how Tony is selling everywhere he's going. Every time you see him, the future of Africa, we need more investors. What's he doing? He's selling. Every post, clinical Africa capitalism, he's selling. He's selling. What's Dangote doing? Selling. Every time, sales strategy, we reduce the landing cost. He's selling. It might be different version at different levels, but it's still what? Selling. And we cannot be doing less. We cannot be doing less. Or even at the same level with the people we are leading. So we are not leading by example by then. We are not leading by example then. So it's selling. Selling. Let me give us this principle. Somebody should go to Instagram. If you're here, go to Red Bull on Instagram. Red Bull, that energy drink.
Yeah.
Go to Red Bull. Are you there?
Yeah.
Scroll and tell me once you see a Red Bull bottle, a Red Bull drink. Good. How many posts did you have to scroll to see it? And even this one is a video of people taking it, vibing it. Now there's something I want to bring out there. Why? Are we together? Are we together? Why? Now, this is a question that needs an answer. Why should I drink Red Bull? Because it gives you wings. You must have a sentimental value you are selling with BioApp. It can't just be to help you live healthy. In fact, let me tell you this secret. People don't buy what they need. People buy what they want. Do you want the honest truth? People don't want to live. They don't need. They are not craving to live healthy. How many of you know that Coke is not good for your health? How many of you don't take Coke? You think people that smoke and drink don't know it's not good? So there must be something you are selling along with BioApp, such that people even forget they forget the primary. How many of us buy Nike shoes because I like the synthetic leather, it's a lie. You are buying it just to feel fly. Because it has been associated with certain caliber of people. That's it. That's it. How many of us really are using iPhone to actually, in fact, if you check most of iPhone's adverts, they will tell you about most of them about the camera actually, right? How many of us are using iPhone for filming? Many of us don't even know the setting that will bring out the film quality of iPhone. We just on camera and tap, that's all. Yes or no? Yeah. So are you really buying iPhone for the functionality? Is Samsung better than iPhone? Yes. Arguably. Some people say Google Pixel 9. Will people still buy iPhone? Yes. Why? They are not buying functionality. It's a status. That 3-camera symbol, that peer pressure. And because that's how people are. If you want to sell need, you will struggle. Convert that need to a want. What do people actually want from this thing? Figure it out. That's what you sell. Imagine Red Bull is advertising and is saying that it has sulfur chloride 0.6 gram, it has fat 9.2 gram. But when they show crazy stuff that when you drink it, it will help you to do. Now you want to feel fly. Want. When you crack this want, even people that don't need it to buy it. Want. Why should I want it? Do I want it? And it's not even, you are not creating the want. You must find something that people already want and just position the product in there. Firstly, we can do an exercise. What's one similar, it might not be the same product, though, but similar or inside similar niche of a product that people buy, people really buy, that looks like what we sell. Maybe similar about products. Anyone? Huh? Do you get the question? What one similar product to ours that people really buy out of want? Let me give an example. Many of, what's it called? Have you seen many of Fecomi's adverts? They won't tell you what it does. They just say if you want to last long, if you want to. That's just it. Want. They didn't tell you it will help you to do this. It will help you. No. If you just want to last long, just buy it. You don't need to know what's inside. Or if you smoke, and you don't want to care about it, just buy it. I think they have one tea like that. I don't smoke. Oh. They have one tea like that you take. It's want. They are tying it to a want. That means they're not telling you not to smoke. They're telling you, my brother, smoke, they go. But this is your best friend when you smoke. You see what they're doing? It's want. It's want. It's want. For example, how can we tie it? Hope you know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Hope you know it's not an health discovery. Hope you know it's a marketing campaign that we all believed. In fact, health-wise, breakfast is actually good to actually delay a bit so that your sugar level can somehow, I don't know, is the doctor here. So that you can actually utilize, I think they say if you eat too early, you get more hungry or something. They should have said it like that. But it's actually not a scientific discovery. I think it was one cereal brand that wanted people to buy their cereal that made it like that. Same thing that Poco Doctor just recently talked about 10,000 steps. For example, there's a way we coin our products that it will become a part of breakfast. That your breakfast is not complete without this. And it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle. Your breakfast is not complete without this. Or your night routine is not complete without this. So even when let's say we sign 20 influencers, and they're talking about my night routine as a 21-year-old girl living in Lagos, and let me tell you something, my night routine is not complete without my tablet of bioapp this thing. If 50 people say the same thing, it will become a viral thing. It will become a part of night routine. People might even start thinking that supplements should be a part of normal night routine. Because it will become as that time, people are not saying, so what does it do for the body? They just assume that it's good for the health when you take it as part of your night routine. That's want. That's want. Instead of explaining, it will help you stay strong, it will purify yourself, it will just make it as part of your night routine. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. People like to have this mystical way of life. That they just don't have something they are doing differently. Want. For example, Panadol Extra adverts. The man that is banging something. Somehow, just assume that if you are doing heavy work, what should you always take? Panadol. It's just, you see how they position the product. That's it. That's it. Baba Blosso. Once you see that now? Want. For example, one of the things we are currently positioning Adesina as is, what's it called? Investing the billionaire way. So what we are doing right now is to project ourselves as if you are thinking and following the way billionaires invest. And we'll do it so well, so much, that whenever you think of Adesina, you just think, in fact, it would affect everybody who works with our brand. Because you just assume that, these guys roll with billionaires, or they are billionaires. And the reason you want to invest is not because, this is a sound investment. You just assume that the fact that a billionaire is doing it is the best deal. Simple. Because everybody wants to idolize successful people. What's the want perspective? I don't know the range of the products, right? Maybe there are some for particular cases. There are some. In fact, let me tell you something. There is, for example, out of all the Coca-Cola products, which one is more dominant? The detox tea. Good.
For general wellness and liver hepatitis.
Thank you. Now let's go to the likes of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
What's their most dominant product? Most times when you see Coke adverts, when you see Coca-Cola adverts, what product do you see there? Do you even notice that most times they will just use some small influencers to do for Sprite, but when it's Coke, is what? Big campaign. Why? They know that as long as you are buying Coke, you buy this other one. How many of us, when you go to buy, you say, "Move Coke." Okay, mix it up with Fanta and Sprite. So this one might be the one we're able to position as part of night routine that we're able to get. With this one, we can upsell every other thing. But the good thing is we should have one that is iconic. Exactly. Because on the shoulder of this one, we can carry every other thing. Can carry every other thing. But there must be one that has one perspective. That has one perspective. If everybody here does video about our night routine and includes detox tea there, we run adverts. You are not ready for bed until you take. Before you know it, people just assume it just to be a part of night routine. And then we get influencers to do it. It will be easy for everybody to sell. Because now I say, man, your night routine, how is it like? Do you know that to help your children to do? Just add it. And you don't have to stress. You don't have to think about it. Just night routine. Just give them as they're going to bed. Simple. In fact, we can even now have a particular content series of recommended night routines for people. So that it will now get to a point whereby when people think of night routines, the only brand in their mind is Baobab. At that time, it's top of mind. It's top of mind. Want is powerful. You see all this, you're trying to sound logical, I have struggled it. Me, Adesina, because number one, I'm a book person. So you try to say, let me tell you something. And I see some of my colleagues, they know they speak grammar, but they make money. I say, Ogaka, it is not this grammar. It's not this grammar. It's not this grammar. People want to feel among. Just meet people at the point of their want. Already now, especially now that we have social media, everybody is doing routine. Everybody, even the thing they're not using, they're saying they're using it. Just bank on it. Don't try to cajole them. Just stay there. Want. You target students for, you've gone to school in the morning, everything. The only time you have to yourself to keep calm and meditate is so just add a detox tea and that's the best part of your day. Or something like, for example, now, you go to work in the morning, everybody's talking to you, your children are talking to you, then the only time you have at night, right, is the time where you are with your tea, your detox tea. That's your me time. Your me time. So you're advocating for something like a me time. Everybody should have a me time. And what's a me time without a Baobab detox tea? That's your me time. So everybody else has have a me time. Don't touch my tea. It's not for general use. It's just for my me time. Want. So apart from using it as, what's it called, night routine, when I also want to have my me time, something is missing. What's that? My Baobab tea. Instead of taking coffee, instead of Baobab tea. And that can be actually a re-engineering of a culture. Coffee came from a culture. Before you know it, it becomes something mainstream. But it must be a want. In fact, once we are able to roll that kind of thing out, it's easy for pharmacy even want to now sell. Because now people will be asking them, you don't have that me-time tea? It's the way it works. People, what the heck does that detox tea does? I don't even know. But I feel good when it's my me-time. in as much as we know that it's healthy for them, continue.
So I just want to share.
Okay, please. I'm already wrapping up.
An experience too with, I don't know if you know Jigsaw.
Jixmo.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are into apps too. So,
Okay.
I think I was in Ghana, and one Igbo guy was like in a group of people, up to like 20 like that. And then they begin to talk about this herbal product. And one of them just said, him is going to Nigeria next week and he's going to buy 2 cartons of that Jigsaw. Why are you buying it? Somebody asked him, why are you actually buying it? He said, no, one of his friends tell him that it's good. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There was nothing, no research carried out by him, just that it's just liquid. That if you take it, headache, all these problems, shower before you sleep, just take it. Do you understand? So, as you are explaining now, just resonating
Exactly.
back to that guy's experience. He was buying those 2 cartons
Because
around 600,000 just for him and his family.
some people will just see it in, maybe they go to their mentor's house.
Yes.
And their mentor, that's just their rationale. They just assume that, if my mentor is taking, it has to be something. And they also start, and they see that person takes it often. They also just become that. For example, till today, one of the things I'm fond of is bread and granuts. Why? Growing up, they are like something, if you come to our house any day, anytime, you find it there. So it just became a part of me, buy granuts. But no, I don't even know what it is. It has just been there like that. Till tomorrow. Some people, so once that thing is able to communicate once, and people that people actually respect or like, start doing it. In fact, some guys now, if they see that their girl does it, they want to start doing it. Me time will extend to family time with Bawab detox tea. It just once. And then a family will come to visit. We'll see that this family has a family time with their tea. Which tea is that? Let's also culture. Once your brand becomes a culture, that's it. Something like Google it, that's a culture. You see that? That's a culture. Instead of, I check it online, Google it. Google is a brand name. That's a culture. Once your brand, that's the peak of marketing, actually. That's even higher than loyalty. Loyalty is when someone is actually dedicated. Culture is that people don't even know why they do it again. It's just a norm. That's a culture. That's a culture. Wig has become a culture. It's a culture. iPhone, they're actually becoming a culture. So that's the peak. There's trial, there is, what is it called now? There's repeated purchase, there's loyalty, then there's culture. But culture is when you've been able to wrap it around people's daily life. Like Google. It's part of our daily life. Like WhatsApp. In fact, how many of you can imagine a life without WhatsApp? It just sounds like impossible. But a few years ago, there was nothing like WhatsApp now. And we were surviving fine. But suddenly, it looks as if like our life revolves around it. Exactly. It's becoming a culture. Some people, if you take their snap, they can die. If snap is not opening, they can just collapse. It has become a culture. So our goal is to actually position as a culture. We don't wait for people to define our product. We define it for them. We define it for them to a point that they think is their definition. They think it's their definition. They think it's their definition. Right. So, if we are about this thing now, it still relies on all of us to enforce it. To enforce it. Right. As leaders, for example, if you're able to position this very well, like I said, our retail sales will be easier. If you are popular in Abuja, even from when you get it, you are not strange to them. I think I've seen. No, you are okay. Let me try. And then you must learn one of the things. I like what you said when you talk about more commission for upsell, because one of the things you must learn to do is that if someone comes to you to say they want to buy 1 pack, definitely they can buy 3 packs. In fact, one of the things that get me angry is when I call I want to buy something, and then the person is responding to me. First response is, okay, the thing costs 20,000 naira, but as the first time customer, I can give you for 18,000 naira. Did I ask you for discount? How many of us do that? You're selling for 20,000, but we can give you discount of 18,500. Who asked you for discount? Let the person ask first. Or he's selling for 20,000, but you can pay twice. Who asked you for payment plan? That means you are not confident in the sale. Instead, I'd like to take one pack. Oh, one pack, oh, that's nice. But do you know that you can actually do 3 and you will save yourself this amount of money? Your goal is to make more money, not to give discounts. That's your goal. Your goal is to make more. Your goal is to upsell 1 to 5. Nobody buys 1 from you. Buy 5. Nobody, what's your budget? 5 million naira. I'll tell them, don't worry. You know what? Instead of this one plot, let's just do 3. But I'll give you time to actually. Don't worry. No pressure, but you are doing 3. You are doing 3.